Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy, Green Pastures Farm. Today, I'm on a new farm that we just had offered to us. This is a farm that's owned by Brent and his wife. And Brent used to work for me when he was in high school. And Brent went off in college, he got his degree, and today he's married, has 3 young sons, and he's able to buy this 30 acres. And it's got a pretty nice little house on it up there on the front and some buildings. And the person that lived here sold and moved to a different school district. And anyway, this farm has a lot of promise on it. It's got 2 ponds, one right there in front. That dark spot up there, that's kind of the back side of the dam. And the rest of this is just weeds and fescue and clovers, and there's a lot of this hop clover in here, that little yellow stuff. There's an autumn olive, of course, our friend, the autumn olive. Sheep are going to tear that one up. So we've got 100 rams that we're going to be bringing over here, but we've got a little work to do. Thankfully, he's got 2 pastures up there around the house that are already fenced. And so we worked out a lease where he just wanted it 8 down. But he doesn't have any fence on the back of his farm right here. It stops right here by that brace. But you talk about a good fence. The guy that lived here before, I mean, that is a fence. I don't know, I'm 5 foot, and that wire right there is hitting me on the chin. So it's I'm 5'10". That top wire is 5 foot. He must have had some really jumpy cattle, but that net wire is going to be perfect for sheep. I wouldn't want to put goats in here, because goats would get their head stuck through there with their horns, and they wouldn't be able to pull their head back through. And that's called a coyote diner. Goat stuck, he can't get away, and the cows can eat him. But yeah, I'm kind of excited. This is so we haven't taken on a new farm for a while, and I wasn't looking. He just called me last Sunday night, and they're moving back in the area, and I'm just tickled to death. Brent and his family are coming back home. I'm sure his parents are happy. I just met his dad a while ago. He's helping him move, and they're going to be living up here within the next couple of weeks. So it's exciting. It's exciting. And Brent, he worked for Jan and I, and we were still developing a lot of those farms over there. He got in on the lifetime lease farm, setting up all that sheep fence over there. So Brent knows a lot about grazing and how it should be done. And he said, Greg, I just want this place cleaned up. So we're bringing in 100, and we're going to strip graze them away from. We're going to start at that pond, and with our 1 wire hot, we're going to keep feeding that away from them, all the way back away from that water source. Probably do a wagon wheel. I'm just looking at the final product here. He does have pressurized water up at the house, and no more than sheep drink. A person might be able to trench you a line out here and put you in a winter system. Of course, you wouldn't need water for sheep in the wintertime. But I'm thinking cattle. Bring cows in here and the sheep aren't here. Kind of trade them off so that the cattle soak up the parasites from the sheep. And the sheep, they can suck up the parasites from the cows. Look at this. You talk about some good sheep feed. That's honey locust. It's got the little thorns on it. They're little right now. They won't be little very long. Those are the ones that landowners hate. And I've seen a bunch of them as I was driving through here. I hauled my 4-wheeler over here today, and I didn't want to take away from Brent's time, because golly, they're under the gun to get moved, and I understand that part. So I just said hi and got out of there. But I am really excited about what I see back here. Pretty good little old farm. The guy that had it, he was a rock. He has gravel trucks and he hauls rock. Matter of fact, he's the one that I used last year on all my ramps that I put in for the ponds. Sam was my hauler. Really like Sam and his brother, and they also hauled some lime for me out of the quarry. I just drove across these a while ago. I'm like, looky here, brand new steel post. I mean, Sam didn't get these put in before he sold the place, and there's a dozen there, and I think there's at least 3, maybe 4 rolls of woven wire up by the house I saw, and I've got to set a few more of those. But I came down the hill here, and there's a pile of cedars already cut. And I've never seen cedars like this, folks. Look at this. Not in central Missouri. Look at that. That darn thing is 30 foot tall. There's one down here by the four-wheeler. I mean, it's a massive tree. Brent ever wants to mill some of this up. Boy, those would go good on that wood miser. Wow. I mean, you talk about some good cedar lumber. But you can tell these trees have got a lot of red in them. And the reason I'm saying that is they grew dense together. And so when trees grow up dense, they go straight and they go tall. And they grow slow. And a slow going cedar has a ton of red in it. Look at this. Oh yeah. So you can tell by looking at the end of this one. That's red clear out to there. So from there all the way in, that one's got like 6 inches of red in it. So those are really nice posts. Those will make some great braces. And this is what we got looking at us, folks. You can see where the old fence was at, right here. The only thing left is the post. We got to go from up there all the way down through this jungle. I can see our steel weed eaters are going to get a workout in here. And I might take my old brush hogging comb here. I don't know. There's a lot of rock and stuff in here. I don't think if I did, I'd want to raise it up pretty high. Yeah, Brent told me it was pretty rugged down in here. Oh, wow. Yeah, it falls off over there big time. But just looking at these posts, see, I've got a straight edge. I think. I don't know. These posts look like, ouch. That old multifurrows bush got me. No, this can't be the line. Those don't line up. No. Too much of a U shape. So we're going to come in here and clear all this with weed eater blades. And I might get Johnny in here with that skid steer. That's what I'll do. I'll get Johnny to come over here. And Johnny, in about 2 hours, can do as much work in here as I can in 2 days. And he's on a skid steer that's built for it. You know, he can clear this. And then we got a nice working surface. We can stretch a wire from where he stopped up there all the way through here. And I'm going to go back and get my four-wheeler. I'm going to drive through here. It's going to be tricky, but I can get through here. I believe. I haven't seen anything yet I would be afraid to go over. Yeah, I don't know. What about this? Oh yeah, I can get over that. That's a piece of cake. There's a lot of water coming down through here. So you got these water crossings coming down through here. This would be one of those where you'd want to put a piece of tin so that you don't wash your fence out. You don't want to put that woven wire right down in that creek. It will tear it up. So this is going to be a challenge right here. Boy, you can tell there's a lot of water coming through here. There's an old steel post. Yeah. Oh man, that sucker's in there too. That one's not coming out. Somebody brought a dozer in here and pushed a lot of these trees and just kind of made a clearing through here. Look at that big old hickory. Man, I bet that's got a lot of squirrels in the fall eating hickory nuts on that. Walk on up the hill here, Gray. Like somebody dumped an old stove there or something. Oh yeah, I can drive right through here. Well, I'm gonna go get the foil because otherwise I'm gonna have to walk back and get it. Look at the cedars, my goodness. That one's gotta be 70, 80 feet long. My goodness, I've never seen cedars grow that big in Missouri. Wow, that is nuts. You see, once they get that big, they only live so long and they start dying. Well, I see some that's died back in there. So those are just gone. You didn't get anything out of them. They just decayed and rotted. But man, there's probably 1, 2, there's 3 20-foot logs on that tree to the left. 3 20-footers. The one on the right, there's a good 2 20-footers. Just right here where I'm standing, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 trees there that are 60, 70 feet tall. And still has a good log at the top. So, man, that's nuts. Somebody that owned this just let them grow. I'd say those trees are probably, to get that big, they've got to be 75, 80 years old. At least. But the sheep, if we can get this fenced, they are going to have a heyday and stuff like that. They're going to clean that up where you can see, you'll be able to see through there. There'll be a graze line. We're going to bring 2 of our dogs over here with the rams so the coyotes don't have a feast. You sure wouldn't want to bring rams over here without a guard dog. What is this? No, I thought it might be they call those blanks. The Arrowhead, the Nappers Association would pick that up and make an arrowhead out of that. A lot of people can make arrowheads today almost, or maybe better than what the Indians did. I can't help it. I get around the creek, I've got to look. I've got about probably 50 that I've found over the years. I've got a few pretty good ones. But you always find them in creeks, or we do. And it's after a big rain, and the creek actually turns a lot of the rocks. And when the creek turns the rocks, there's the arrowheads flipped upside down that have been there for, gosh, 200 or 300 years, maybe longer, maybe 1,000 years, depending on which group of Indians lived there. Man, that good looking. When you find one like that, you throw it up on the. I throw it up on the bank because if you come down through here again, you'll pick that same rock up. I'll tell you what, this looks pretty good. Be a great place to find an arrowhead or even an axe. That's one of my hopes. One day is to find an axe. But I found a piece of one up on Judy Farm years and years ago, but I've never found a true axe. My gosh, there's a lot of flint here though. All this flint, you know they made some arrowheads in here. I just think it's pretty neat that an Indian could sit around and take a piece of flint like that and a deer antler and turn out a beautiful arrowhead. I mean, it's unbelievable. Some of the ones I've got, They're almost like you just molded them in a mold. That's how perfect they are. It's a really good place to find them because it's in out of the way. You know, it's not right next to a road where people are constantly looking for them. Anyway, I got to go back up the hill and get my four-wheel and come down through here and see what we got looking at us on the other side of this draw. But this is going to be a good experience for the young men, Ben, Isaac, and Connor. They've never taken over a fresh farm like this, where heck, we don't even have any fence right here. And so we got to get to working on this, and we got some challenges in here. That creek being the biggest one. It's actually a double creek. It's got two sources. It's got one right here in front of me, right there. Then over there's another one. And anything that you put in there that's fixed and can't move, when you get water, the creek's just going to take it out. And if your fence is hooked to that, it'll rip it out. So I learned that a long time ago. Don't do that. So we'll figure it out. We'll do some brainstorming in here. We'll figure it out. But, you know, pretty good deal. I mean, Brent just gave us the lease for, working on this fence, and we're going to have some labor in it. But you know what? Work can never hurt anybody. Matter of fact, I think it makes you a good person. Makes you appreciate life. I mean, you have to work for everything that you've got in your life. Let me tell you what, you learn to take care of it. And I know a lot of people think I'm anal, how picky I am about certain things, but folks, when you grow up with nothing, and then you finally get to a point where you have a few things, you want them to be taken care of. Plain and simple. If you learn to take care of your stuff, it'll last a lot longer. It'll do what you want it to do. And you get in it to use it, it works. You don't have to work on it. So with that, I'm going to sign off here. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my hands in on this one. This is going to be awesome. It's going to help Brent out. It's going to help us out. We got a place to keep our rams. And I want to help the boys that we've got get some more experience on a rough, unfenced farm. So everyone hit that subscribe button on the way out if you would. I'd appreciate it. And we'll see you all down the road.